Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 50k until the end of the year. Help me out there. And let's get into it. First of all, sorry about basically the same gameplay that I did with some dev server videos. I had to use it because we don't have a dev server right now and we don't have a live server, and I wanted to talk about the Yak-141, specifically the dogfighting capabilities of it. So they just responded for my actual bug report on the radar, and apparently they are not going to fix the radar, so I don't know. Well, it's probably going to be the same as we saw on the dev server. Very slow radar, one of the slowest radars in the game, but whatever, right? But let's talk about another thing that I think it should be a little bit worse in the aircraft, which is the dogfighting capabilities of this VTOL. And yeah, it's a problematic one, to be honest. If you noticed in this video, and I did dogfighting videos, you will see that, yes, the Yak-141 can turn more than a Mirage 2000 even using the VTOL system, right? It is using a real-life system, and it uses even the afterburner in a VTOL kind of situation, which is also it was also able in real life as well. But we have one little thing that it's not implemented in the game that could completely basically change the aircraft to actually be normal. If you saw my first video, I think, on the dogfights, I don't know if I actually did. I don't think I did videos just using normal fighting capabilities without the VTOL. But I did test it with a friend, and it basically lost almost every time for all of the aircraft. So if you don't use the VTOL, you will lose basically every single dogfight. It loses for the MiG-29, it loses for the F-16, it loses for the Mirage, and other 4th generation as well. I don't think it loses only the F-14, I think it can beat it. But the thing is, so you can see that it's not OP if you don't use the VTOL, right? But it had one thing: you can use it in game. In real life, this aircraft actually had a system called the SKEM, which used the K-36, I think it was called, ejection seat. It was a 0-0 ejection seat, which was very interesting, but it was integrated to the ejection seat and integrated to the fly-by-wire system and the avionics of the aircraft. And basically it made it so that the pilot wouldn't die or would crash in a situation involving the VTOL system being used. So how it worked, it would basically be like this. If you added, it's a position that you can do inside the cockpit. The pilot would just change the configuration of the aircraft to be in VTOL or not. So he would just lower the engine to the VTOL position, right? If he did that with more than 30 degrees of inclination on the engine, the SKEM would be activated. And then something very interesting would happen. The aircraft would basically know that you are trying to land or take off. And with that, once you are landing and taking off from any position, but because it is a VTOL aircraft, the stabilization of it is very thin, and it's very a complex thing for a pilot to learn and stuff. So it was very dangerous, right? The system, if it noticed that the aircraft was in an abnormal position in a situation of landing and takeoff, it would simply auto-eject the pilot out of nowhere. So it would save the pilot's life, right? The aircraft was able to land without power from a very high altitude, even like 5 to 6 meters, without even losing the landing gear. So we could crash belly with the belly, right? But if the actual aircraft would just flip down or something like that, it would mean that it would crash on top of the pilot, right? So they noticed that they needed to do something more quickly than the pilot can react to it, which was the automatic ejection. So before the pilot would even notice the abnormal condition that it wasn't salvageable anymore, the SK system would just eject the pilot to save its life before something even bad, like even worse, would happen, right? And it noticed that using gyroscopics and basically the fly-by-wire together with the avionics to notice the attitude of the aircraft. So if you added a 25-degree pitch up, I think, a 20-degree pitch down, or a 30-degree roll on the aircraft or more, obviously, that or more, it would automatically eject. If you had a configuration of 30 degrees or more in the engine, and also one of these situations, 25 degrees pitch up or more, 20 degrees pitch down or more, or a 30 degree roll or more, 30 degree or more of roll, right? It would automatically eject the pilot. Which means what? I don't know if this system was able to be disabled. Probably yes. So that would be a thing, maybe. I don't know. So that's the part that I don't know about it. But if the system wasn't able to be disabled, in a normal fight, if you actually try to put the nose in an awkward position in a dogfight, together with the engine being in a 30 plus degrees of inclination, it would just automatically eject the pilot. So I don't know, this could be a way to actually nerf the aircraft and be actually more realistic. You would still be able to use the thrust vectoring, but only up to 30 degrees. If the pilot put more than that, and the aircraft noticed that you are in a more kind of inclination than I said, it would just automatically eject the pilot in the middle of the fight. The pilot then would need to just learn the aircraft and learn how to use it and be, good in it. It would be another thing that a pilot of an Yak-141 would have to worry about. As I said, I couldn't confirm if this system was disableable. If you could disable it, probably yes, right? But for the sake of, balancing and stuff, I think it would be a fair thing to do, because this aircraft can actually probably can be like an F-18 or even other aircraft like that, just due to the VTOL. The VTOL is really OP, so I don't know. I still have these two opinions. I think the radar should be a little bit better because of the PESA, and I think the turning capabilities should be kept like that. But maybe it's just my opinion, maybe I am doing something wrong. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not with me. This came from two books, the two books that I normally, use. It is the Yakolev, basically Yakolev, Yak 36, 38, and 41, the Soviet jump jets by F. Gordon. And I have one that I forgot the name of it, but still it is a very interesting book as well. And there in both of the books they said that these systems actually could help a lot pilots, and it did help it because the Yak-38 also had the same system. So yeah, pretty interesting, right? But let me know in the comments what you think about such a system like this. Do you think it would be feasible to have one like this or not? It would be usable, it would be boring or fun? Let me know in the comments, and I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye guys.